Assalamu alaikum. Hello, my name is Hani Nadawi. I have been playing video games for more than 10,000 hours. And I'm going to change how you view video games. I'm going to change how you think about them. But before I do, I want to tell you a story, which is my story. Growing up, I was in a very lonely neighborhood. I had no friends. I'm talking in elementary school when I was 4th grade, I think. And I used to be bullied a lot. I used to be hated by everyone. No one was there for me, and I was always the one who was left behind. Until I decided, no, I want to look away from the real world. I want to escape. So I turned to video games. I escaped to a world where I could be respected and wanted. A world where for the first time in my life, I made my own friends. A world where people wanted to play with me. People wanted to be with me. And that for me was such a life-changing experience. My online friends, they taught me a lot of things. Some are good, some are bad. But they were there for me when no one else was. And for that, I think I'm very thankful to them. They were the virtual family that raised me into the person I am today. So, let's start with our topic. Should you play video games? Well, I don't know if it's obvious, but the non-gamers will say, no, don't play video games. The gamers will say, yes, go ahead and play video games. Well, first of all, don't believe anything you see in the news, like news channels or any article you read online. Chances are those opinions are not coming from an actual gamer. They're just people with free time that just want to write. They can get some money out of it. Now, what if I told you it has been scientifically proven that video games are actually good for you? Here are 3 reasons why. The first reason is fast reaction speeds, or reflex, as they call it. I just started driving. I'm not a very good driver. I'm expected to go into a lot of accidents, bump a lot of people. But thank God, and then my reflex, which I gained from video games, I managed to stay out of a lot of accidents just because of this. When someone suddenly stops in front of me, my reflex is good enough that I click the brakes. And the second reason is hand-eye coordination and prediction of fast-moving objects. What I mean by hand-eye coordination is what you think isn't actually what you do. Suppose you want to throw a knife across the room. You will not be accurate because what you think and what you do are totally different. Video games actually improve this ability. And well, the prediction of fast-moving objects, you can notice that when you're playing volleyball or table tennis, the ball moves so fast, your eyes can't keep up with it. You're forced to predict or to guess where the ball will go. You try to guess, okay, the ball goes over here, so I should move over here to deflect the ball. But for gamers, they have been trained for this kind of fast-moving objects. They can track the ball with their eyes. They don't have to predict where it goes. And even when they do have to predict, their prediction skills are much, much better than a normal person. And the third reason, multitasking and quick decision making. So multitasking is, suppose you're playing a game of chess, and at the same time, you're cooking dinner. At the same time, you're talking to your friend. At the same time, you're studying for your exam. You're doing multiple tasks at the same time. Your mind cannot focus. Video games, however, they make you aware of the problems you're solving. You can focus on multiple problems at the same time with no loss in focus. Sure, it doesn't make you a superhuman, but it definitely improves your ability to multitask. And the nature of video games is making decisions in split seconds, in the moment of the blink of an eye. And when you constantly do that regularly over and over, when the time comes in real life where you have to make a split-second decision, you will be able to do that very easily. Now, here are more things that video games help with. Strategy. Every basic game requires strategy. Whether you see it or not, every game has strategy. And patience. A lot of games need patience because when you lose, you become more tolerant to failure. You say, okay, I lost, but this time I'm going to win. And the art of thinking ahead. If you don't have this skill, I highly suggest you play video games because it will teach you. I was horrible at thinking ahead. But after playing video games, well, any game, you have to think ahead of your opponent. You have, like, suppose for chess. Chess is known for thinking ahead of your opponent. The one who makes more calculations is the one who wins. You can apply these things to any video game. Now, I want to address an issue that people associate with video games, is that it makes your eyesight weaker. Well, too much of anything is bad. If you drink enough water, sure, you'll stay hydrated. But if you drink too much water, you'll get sick. If you play too much football, your legs will get sore. You will strain your muscles. Same thing goes for video games. If you're going crazy about them, like for, let's say, 10 hours straight, then yes, your eyesight will get weaker. But seeing as how we don't have enough time to do these crazy things, you'll probably end up playing an hour or two, or maybe less than an hour. And that's actually very healthy. First-person shooter gamers have actually shown 20% more improved vision. They can see details and objects far away. So suppose you're holding a medicine pill. At this range, you can't read anything. A gamer can probably read it across the room. I mean, if you're talking about a professional gamer. Not everyone can do that. And also, they can differentiate between multiple shades of gray. Because in first-person shooter, you're looking through a scope always. So all you see is different shades of gray. You see black, 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 white, black, gray. So your mind starts to recognize these colors and tell them apart. Now, before I close, I wrap this all up. Younger generations have also shown more tolerancy to blue light, which is the harmful light that comes out of screens, like your phone, televisions, laptops. Younger generations are more tolerant to that. All right. So, do you like being challenged? Are you bored of the real world? Do you want to experience something new, something exciting? Do you want everyone to just forget you exist from this world, just for an hour or two, and dive into a new world? Video games can do that for you. So, should you play video games? Well, if you want to escape, if you had enough of this world, you just want to go away where no one knows you, and you're the king of that world. If you want to be someone else, you're tired of who you are, you want to be a superhero, you want to make a change. If you want to be given a second chance, if you screw it up in real life, if you have nothing else, you want a second chance, a second life, then yes, I think you should play video games. Thank you.